One. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Kageyama, and I'd like to welcome everyone here to Be Your Own Hero. I'm a stage 4 prostate, bone, and lung cancer patient. Been dealing with cancer since early 2021. Doing very well, and I'm so thrilled that the weather is getting to be nice here in Texas. It's warming up, and things are very, very busy with my 17-month-old granddaughter, and we have out-of-town guests coming in like literally every week for the rest of the month, and so it's keeping things real busy. But my passion is with, as you know, dealing with people who have cancer, and uh, because I'm all about doing everything that I can to help people and guide them and share my journey so that they can this channel what this channel is all about hope and inspiration. Because if a person does not have hope and inspiration, particularly at the beginning of their cancer journey, what do they really have? So that's what it's all about. And I am just so excited to bring on a lady that I've known for it seems like quite a long time, but we were just talking about it earlier. It's so good to see her, and I'd like to introduce at this time Erica Neubert Campbell. Please introduce yourself and tell us who you are. And oh, and I forgot to mention, this is a follow-up interview. I did an interview with her a while back, probably a year and a half or so ago, and we've also co-hosted on Perspectives, showing up Perspectives on Cancer with Tim Sohn. So uh, we've spent some time together, and it's
Yeah,
great, great, great to see you, Erica.
it's great
Please
to see you
introduce
too,
yourself
Mark.
and share with us who you are.
Yeah, I just want to start by saying how lovely it is to see you. And I think the silver lining in the cancer community, the little secret is that nobody wants to join this club. But when you get here, and if you find yourself here, you get to meet some really incredible people. And I want to say thank you, Mark, for being one of those incredible people in the community, in the cancer community.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So,
Go
hi
ahead.
everyone. My name is Erica Neubert Campbell, and I come at the cancer experience from multiple perspectives. First, I'm actually a cancer survivor myself. I battled breast cancer back 6 years ago. I'm doing great today. Secondly, I call myself a cancer orphan. I lost my mother to breast cancer about 20 years ago. And the third thing is I am a cancer nonprofit leader. So I'm the executive director of the Pinkyswear Foundation. See my pinky there. And well, I'm sure I'll be able to share why we get that name and what that work does. But I've been in the cancer world for many years, and again, I've met some incredible people who really just inspire and give me hope, like you said, Mark.
Yes, it's definitely nobody wants a ticket into this group, but on the flip side, it's absolutely amazing the people that you meet, and I will be forever grateful for all of the people, wonderful people that I've met, including yourself. And it's so good to see you. And so
Yeah.
let's talk about what you are doing these days.
Yeah. Got lots going on. I think the most exciting thing, well, certainly is the Pinkyswear Foundation. Kind of the work I'm doing in my day job. I certainly have other jobs. I'm also a full-time mom of two, and
How old are
I
your
do.
kids?
They are 14 and 11. Yeah, so I feel like I
You
have a
got
second full-time job by just managing them.
you have that you're approaching the really, really tough ages.
Have you seen the wrinkles around my eyes? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I will pray for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, teenagers, here we come. Yeah. Yep. And
Wow.
yeah, Pinkyswear Foundation is we continue to grow, and we help kids with cancer and their families nationwide. And what we do is provide financial support. So really, what I'm always wanting to talk about, and I think you and I've shared this, Mark. There's like so many hidden costs of cancer, right? There are just
Let's back up a little bit. Tell
yeah,
us how Pinky Swear was founded and who founded it and all that kind of. Let's get a little bit of a history on it.
yeah. I mean, that's a great question. So Pinkyswear Foundation, we were founded, gosh, about 23 years ago when there was a
Wow.
9-year-old boy. So it's been 23 years. There's a 9-year-old boy named Mitch, and he was in the hospital one evening. He had a terminal bone cancer, and he overheard a family in the room next to him at the hospital that couldn't afford presents that year for the holidays. And it broke this boy's heart. He was 9 years old, and he said, "Dad, I I want to do something about it. I want to do something." And so they decided right then and there, they withdrew Mitch's entire life savings out of the bank account. And later that evening, after everybody had been asleep, they put all of the money equally divided into orange envelopes, and they slipped these envelopes under the door of every other kid on the oncology floor, including the last one was that family right next door to them. They put the envelope on the table, and Mitch was wheelchairing out of, wheeling his wheelchair out of the hospital, and his wheelchair hit the side of the door, and he's like, "Dad, Dad, run, run!" And so they were wheeling, 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 and they get to the elevator, and the door is closed, and Mitch is so happy. He's like super out of breath. He's like, "Dad, that was so great. I loved it. I loved giving to other people. I can't wait to do it next year." Unfortunately, Mitch was very, very sick, and his parents were also incredibly honest with him. And so Mitch's dad, sort of paused and said, "Well, I'm sorry, son, but I don't, I don't think you're going to be here next year." And this little boy, this 9-year-old boy, with like incredible innocence of a child and the courage of a leader, looks up at his dad and says, "Okay, Dad, okay, well, make me a pinky swear promise that you will keep doing this after I'm gone." Mark, you talk about hope and inspiration. Somebody to give like that in their most challenging moments, that gives me hope. And I think about, what is the butterfly effect of these small acts of kindness? What does that turn into? These little kids helping other kids. What kind of good does that create in the world? And, I like to joke that I have Mitch's old job because we
Mm.
have since then upheld that pinky swear promise. And we continue to provide financial support, just like Mitch did, to families with a child battling cancer. So, that first year, Mitch gave away $6,000, right? That's actually a lot of
Wow.
money for a 9-year-old boy, right? Like a
Yeah.
lot of money for a 9-year-old boy. Um, Now, 23 years later, we gave away 1.2 million to families.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, yeah. And I just
Congratulations.
thank you. I mean, there's so many families out there, Mark, that need support, and we do everything in our powers to make sure every family gets what they need. We try to say yes to every family. It's really challenging, but I think about Mitch all the time, and again, what that innocence and that courage of that moment, and the quietness and the late nightness of sort of how in an elevator in a hospital one evening in a private moment between a father and a son, a promise is made, and how strong that is and what that creates for thousands of families in the future. I love the idea of you never know. You never know when you're going to make a difference in someone's life and what that's going to turn into.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing when you set out on a journey. You just don't know where it's going to take you, and the people you're going to meet, and the people you're going to touch, and the
Yeah.
people you're going to come in contact with, and what it we only look at it from our point of view, but when you're affecting people, uh, you learn more about their point of view as well, which is just, it's a beautiful thing to see. And what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Well,
So
thank you.
keep going. I don't mean to.
No, I mean, it's just, I mean, I think what you said is really interesting, Mark, because this is what we find is that, and I'm sure many of your listeners will can relate to this. When you're facing a cancer diagnosis, whether an adult or a child in particular, life goes on, and you don't know the depth of other people's stories, the depth of other people's challenges. And, again, as I started saying earlier, like the hidden costs of cancer, it's the stuff that nobody really likes to talk about. You really want to focus, of course, on the health of the child or the health of the patient. And there's all these other factors that actually go into sort of the treatment options and it's not just about the drugs and the medicine. It's about, do you have access to care? Do you have transportation to get there? Do you have affordable housing to make sure that you can, have a roof over your head? Do you have transportation to stay in a hotel that's close to the hospital? Like all these other things. I just like to think about what are the other ways that we can impact families and kids outside of just treatment, right? And you never know what else a family's going through. And
I
I
have
think
some
you can help
ideas
that.
for you, so we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay, that sounds great. That sounds great. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of action driven, and I just want to help. I can't cure cancer. I wish I could. I wish I could, but I can't. But what I can do, and what is doable, is doing what Mitch did, which is just getting, financial support to a family because it can make a difference. I'd like to
Yes,
think that that family who received Mitch's gift that, that holiday season, maybe they had a little bit better holiday that year, right? Maybe they brought a little bit more joy into that season of their life, which may or may not have been really challenging. And again, what is the ripple effect of those um, acts of kindness, but also direct financial support? I'm sure Mark, cancer is not cheap, and it is incredibly, incredibly taxing on the financial health of a family.
absolutely. In fact, I did refer a gentleman to you, and you
Yeah,
did help him.
yeah,
And so I appreciate that
yeah,
tremendously. It was like he was in really, really bad shape, and it did play a big role. Unfortunately, uh, we did lose him, the son,
mm,
and yeah, that I mean that's the unfortunate thing that we run into more often uh, than we like to admit or like to accept. But
yeah,
it is part of it, and so all we could do is the very best that we can, and there's no question that you do the very best that you can.
yeah. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that loss, and we will light a candle for that child every week at our team meeting. One of our traditions is to light a candle for anybody we know that we've helped, that we've loved and lost, and anybody in a cancer battle. So certainly, if any of your listeners would like to reach out and give us a name they want to share, we will take a moment of silence for that person and light a candle.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
Uh, talk about the how you got into your role at Pinkyswear and how all that came together. You've been there for 8 years now, and
yeah,
we're talking about we're talking about time and how quickly that goes. So yeah, if you could share with us some information about that.
yeah. Interestingly, my background is in finance, accounting, and human resources. So I spent most of my adult career in those, in corporate work, doing those, really important activities, accounting, finance, HR. But all that time, a couple things happened. Number one, I was volunteering in my evenings and weekends at a summer camp for children with cancer. And then also, my mother was in a cancer battle herself during all those years. And I would say both of those experiences changed me profoundly, right? I got to witness my own mother's struggle and, being totally transparent. Sometimes there were financial decisions that we had to make about her care that didn't always benefit her, right? There was some drugs. I remember there was an anti-nausea drug. It was really expensive and we frankly couldn't afford it. And I had to witness her being really nauseous for so long, and it could have been cured had we had financial support. So I think financial support was always something in the back of my mind of like, huh, that actually can actually have a direct impact on someone's quality of life. And, and also when I was a summer camp counselor, I got to know a lot of the parents, right? They would entrust me with their kid. It was a sleepaway camp. So I was essentially the mom for a week, and I could imagine what it's like. I mean, those were really challenging experiences, really beautiful ones, but, you know, parents face some really hard challenges. A lot of times a parent has to step away from work and, you know, expenses go up and income goes down. So all of those things kind of pointed me to, I wanted something more meaningful in my life. Working for corporate America is amazing and I loved it and I, did really well, but I wanted something bigger and better than myself. And I wanted to use those skills for it. So, when I saw the role at Pinkyswear, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it combines, guess what I need? I need skills in finance and accounting, right? Because we do financial payments. We have to run the business. Human resources. I built an incredible team of, people that are passionate and mission aligned and, have all the same values and are working towards the same goals. And all of those things, and to be able to work with families. Again, I can't cure cancer, but I was able to use my gifts in this way. And I love being able to have direct financial support. I really do. Even when the outcome isn't favorable, like you just shared with me the story of your friend that we helped and whose son lost his battle. That does happen to families that we support. But I like to think that we give them that financial relief that allows them to be more present with their child. We give financial support, but I think we also give the gift of time, right? I'm hoping that that dad, for even just a brief moment, was able to not worry about his finances and he was just able to enjoy his son, to be present. I hope they played a board game. I hope they just were able to do something together that built memories. We have a lot of stories about that. And we have a lot
You
of
know,
stories where families are great now and they want to give back, right? There's a lot of cures too.
that's such a beautiful thing. I mean, me personally, I've dealt with, the financial constraints of cancer. It's just, it's really tough. But my personal thinking in all of this is, you know, I'll do whatever I can to be able to open my eyes the next day. You know, the financial part, they're going to be there. And whatever I need to do to make sure that I open my eyes tomorrow is what I was going to do. And fortunately for me, it's worked out well.
Yeah.
And so I still have a lot of bills as a result of it,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat because
Yep.
you cannot fight something when you're 6 feet under.
Yes.
So the goal is always to be able to survive another day so that you can fight.
Yeah. And, we talk to parents all the time that, exactly what you just said, Mark, is you really want to do anything possible, no matter the cost. We're working with a family now, actually a family in Texas, and, they live about 3 hours from the closest pediatric oncology hospital that specializes in their son's brain tumor. And that's really hard because that is 3 hours in the car and 3 hours back. That's 6 hours. and it costs a lot of gas. It's hard on your car. And guess what? You have to take a lot of time off of work, right? And so, but this family is an incredibly, close-knit family. They want to be together. And so we want to be able to support them in that. And I'm like, yes, we'll get some gas gift cards for you. Those are the kinds of things where we want to support parents. And like the way you just said, you'll do anything. We want to make sure they get the best care and we'll do anything for them too.
So you do you have in mind one of your favorite stories from your Pinkyswear days as far as, somebody who left an incredible impression on you? I'm sure you do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We've been working with this. Actually, I'm going to call him now a young man because he's now nearly 20 years old. His name is Jack, and he has actually been battling cancer, Mark, for I think 12 years. Since he was 8 years old, he's relapsed 5 times with leukemia. He's done 2 bone marrow transplants, 2 CAR T-cell treatments, and this is a family that we've helped many times. We've helped, them financially. And the best part is now Jack is I think he's a sophomore or junior in college.
Wow, that's
And
great.
I just applaud him for his resilience, his grit, his determination. And you know what, Mark, the most inspiring and hopeful thing is now he has organized a club on campus that supports Pinkyswear Foundation. He
Wow.
has he is incredible. He does fundraising for Pinkyswear. He's still in his own journey and he's already giving back. And I mean, this is the most inspiring kid you have ever met. He came and spoke
I'd
at one
like
of
to
our
meet him.
like events. Yeah. Oh, he, he would love to talk to you, Mark. I mean, he is just the coolest kid. And now he's got himself an internship at like a 3D engineering printing firm that has influence over the CAR T cell therapy. I mean, he's just like one of those kids. I'm going to be working for him someday. He's fantastic.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Um,
Yes. Yes. Yep.
that is absolutely fantastic. Do you have another story that you have come to mind?
Yeah. I mean, again, we've helped families, as I mentioned earlier, life goes on. So one of the other families we helped recently, I don't know if you remember, but there were incredible hurricane and flooding in North Carolina,
Hmm.
devastated towns and entire like streets and cities. We recently helped a family that lost their home, um, and it was really hard to hear that because can you imagine a family with a child who's battling cancer and then have this natural disaster come in and really strip you of your basic necessities? And we felt really honored to be able to help a family in that area. Um, we've also helped families in the California wildfires, right, in Los Angeles. And so life goes on, and you know, we've just been able to help families at their really most challenging and darkest moments. And I feel really grateful for that opportunity to walk beside those families. Life
What
goes
is
on, and I think that's the hardest part.
what is your screening process to determine who are your candidates?
Yeah, it's really hard. And I'm going to tell you, Mark, right now, we open up our applications on the first of the month because we have a budget for how much we can give out, simply just a factor of how much we fundraise. And our entire budget gets filled up within 8 hours of us
Wow.
opening the application. Yeah. We track it. Last month we had 72 applications in the first hour. Yeah. The demand, this is like it's like this hidden secret. The demand for this work is so incredibly
Hmm.
high. Yeah. It's really heartbreaking. There are a lot of families out there. Um, and we never we want to say yes to every family. So as soon as that budget fills up, we'll close our applications and then ask people to have to wait until the next month, which is so heartbreaking. We used to be able to keep our applications open all month. But in the last couple of years, you know this, Mark, all of us have been to the grocery store, right?
Mhm.
Inflation, groceries are so expensive, transportation, housing, interest rates are really high. We have seen a tripling of demand in the last 3 years. It's been just absolutely hard to imagine the need that's really affected so many people.
Wow, that is uh, it's mind-blowing that
It is.
that you have yeah, you open it up for such a short period of time and it's all gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so what would you like to say to our audience as far as
Mm,
how can please tell people how they can support you and what would you like to leave our audience with?
yeah. You know, the opportunity to be like Mitch is available to everybody. And I think the message I want to say is you can make a difference. It's really hard, with cancer in general. It's a big, scary word. And I think it can feel really overwhelming and you don't think you can make a difference. You can. You absolutely can. Um, I would love everyone to check out our website, www.pinkyswear.org. Not only you can learn more, or if you know a family who's in need of support, there's an easy apply button. We do have some other programs that are open up all year round, and we look for time, talent, and treasure. So there's also an opportunity to write letters of encouragement to children with cancer. So you can write a letter of encouragement. All of our gifts to newly diagnosed families include a handwritten card from volunteers around the world. That's a letter of encouragement to kids in cancer. But also, there's opportunity to fundraise or get involved.
Wow, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So before we wrap this up, I want to ask you one question that's aside from all of this.
I love it.
If you
Mm.
had the power to do what I'm going to ask you, how would you help make the world a better place for everyone?
Ooh. If I had the power to do anything,
Mhm.
gosh, I have to say, Mark, I'm kind of biased right now. I'm waiting for $100 million gift, to come my way because I would honestly, I feel really passionately about children with cancer and actually any cancer patient. I would pay their bills for a year.
Wow.
I
That
would do
that
that.
that would be incredible.
I know.
Absolutely
And you know what?
incredible.
It's possible, Mark. It is possible. I think about how much did the United States people spend on the last presidential election? It started with a B. It's in the billions,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah. What would a so that money is out there. And I'm not being political, right? That's not my intent on that. It's more there is funding out there. I would
Mhm.
love to see more funding go towards financial support to cancer patients and their families, particularly children with cancer. I think that's challenging. But Mark, wouldn't it be a gift if someone said to you, "Hey, I'm really sorry you're facing this diagnosis. Let me pay your bills for a year."
My goodness. That would that you know, the thing about cancer is and there's no playbook on how to deal with it.
Yeah,
There's no script. There's no, I mean, there's a lot more out there now than even
yeah,
when I first started.
yeah.
Um, but cancer is so complex,
It is.
and there's so many things that you have no idea what you're walking into. I mean, you're walking into this dark room, and there's like all these doors and there's all this stuff behind all these doors that you have to deal with as a cancer patient. And I mean, I was so fortunate that I just been so blessed that I was guided towards the right answers,
Yeah.
because my oncologist basically said I wasn't going to be around for but a few weeks. And so that was back in 2021. I'm still here. And so I think we all have, like many of us do, not all, but many of us feel like we have an obligation to share, what we've been gifted with. And,
Absolutely.
and that's such an incredible thing. And so, I mean, so many people just think cancer is all about just going to your doctor and doing what your doctor says. But there's so much
So
more
much.
beyond that. Way,
Yes.
I mean, there's, like some of the things that you talked about, the complexities of finances, of gas and housing and food. Food is one of the things that helped me to get better.
Yeah.
In
Food is
my
medicine.
opinion, food is
Yeah.
medicine, is absolutely
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
so there's all these things, and I've also learned that, uh, and this is something that I've learned recently, is how many people that have gone through cancer have had PTSD
Yeah.
afterwards, and that's a real thing. So there's
For
so
sure.
many psychological, mental things to deal with cancer that nobody tells you about, except for maybe channels like this one.
Yeah.
And And so and this is one of the things that I try to do is I try to bring out as many aspects of cancer that I possibly can. And this along with our cancer conquering communities on Thursdays on Zoom. So I mean, it is, if I were to write a book about a cancer journey, it'd be like literally like that thick. I
Yeah.
mean, because it is that complex. And
Yes.
so,
It is.
um, yeah, so what you're doing is just absolutely incredible. And, I'm so glad that we've had a chance to share this time, and it's been absolutely awesome. So if you have any final thought that you'd like to share, go ahead. And after that, we'll go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah. I just want to again encourage people, you can make a difference. And I pinky swear promise you will.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank
It's
you.
been awesome. I've really enjoyed it.
Yes,
And
me
it's
too. Thank you.
so absolutely, it's so great to see you. And it's so great to see all of you out there. And thank you so much for tuning in to be your own hero. And keep in mind, no matter if you have cancer or you don't have cancer, life is so precious. And it is a gift, and we're not promised tomorrow. None of us are. We're not promised this afternoon or tonight or later on in the day. So
Yeah.
be sure to make the most out of every single day and every single hour, every single minute, and every single second, because that's why we call right now the present. It is a gift. So take care. We will see you next week on To Be Your Own Hero. Thank you so much. And a quick pitch. Be sure to like, subscribe, and make a comment in the comment section. In fact, one of my latest videos keeps sending it over to the person that was speaking there, going, "This is just like," I said, "This is nothing compared to some of the ones I've seen." So, anyway, have a great day and take care. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Take care.